Welcome to today's tutorial on how to graph the sine and cosine functions. By the end of this video, you have a clear understanding of how to plot these fundamental trigonometric functions. First of all, here is a cosine and sine poster as you can see. First, let's start with the sine function. The sine function, often denotes as y equals sine x, represents the vertical component of a point moving around the unit circle as the angle changes. When we plot the sine function on the Cartesian plane, the x-axis represents the angle in radians and the y-axis represents the value of sin. Determine the range. First, you gotta determine the range of angles you want to graph. For example, let's graph the sine function for angles ranging from 0 to pi. Divide the interval into increments such as pi 4, pi 2, and pi and so on. These points will serve you as key points, just like in here. Step 3. Calculate the sine value for each key point using a reference table calculator. For example, sine O equals O, sine pi 4 equals 0.7, and that like that. Plot the points of the Cartesian plane using the angles x value and sine value, the y value, for each key point. Step 5 is to connect the plotted points smoothly to form the graph on the sine function within the given interval. And there you have it. You have successfully graphed the sine function on a Cartesian plane, like this one. Here's the sine. You can see how it moves across the board with these things here. Now to the cosine function. The cosine function denotes as y equals cos x, represents the horizontal component of a point moving around the unit circle as the angle changes. Similar to the sine function, when we graph the cosine function on a Cartesian plane, the x-axis represents the angle in radians and the y-axis represents the value of cos. Determine a range of angles you want to graph, which can be the same as for a sine function, such as 0 to 2 pi radians. Divide the interval into key points just like we did for the sine function, such as 0 pi, 4 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and 2.2 pi. Calculate the cosine value for each key point using the table calculator, just as we did as sine. Plot the points on a Cartesian plane using the angle, the x value, and the cosine value, the y angle, for each point. Connect the plotted points smoothly to form the graph of the cosine function with a given interval. Now you graph both the sine and cosine function on the Cartesian plane. Understanding these fundamental trigonometric graphs is key to mastering various mathematical and scientific concepts. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more educational content. Don't forget to like and subscribe.